It's been more than a month since Toyota Field has hosted San Antonio FC and its legion of supporters. But what better way to welcome the team back from the road with the second installment of the South Texas Derby. San Antonio FC welcoming in RGV FC Toros here on this Saturday night. Thanks so much for joining us with our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. It's great to have you with us here at Toyota Field this evening for round 2 of the South Texas Derby. Well, San Antonio FC coming back from a very impressive 4-game road trip in which they went 2-1-1 and in the process clinched the organization's first ever playoff berth 10 days ago in Southern California, getting a 1-0 win on the road in Orange County. Ben Noonan scoring off a set piece in the second half of the game's only goal. Ben's first goal of the season that gives San Antonio FC the second win of the trip and all 3 of the points. And it also clinches San Antonio FC's spot in the top 8 of the table. Here's the rest of the season for San Antonio FC. 4 remaining matches, including tonight, 3 at home, 1 on the road. Busy end of the season. Remember, they have that makeup game with Portland coming up on October 11th in the final week of the season before playing their final home game on the 14th. They will also play their only game against an Eastern Conference team. They take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies on October the 7th. So it's an interesting schedule. It's a favorable schedule for San Antonio FC. And in addition to clinching the organization's first ever playoff berth, San Antonio FC is trying to clinch a home field playoff spot for the opening round, the Western Conference quarterfinals. Their magic number is 9 to clinch a first-round playoff game here at Toyota Field, and they can make a dent into that number by taking 3 points against RGV FC here this evening. As for the Toros, they've got a lot of work to do to try to get back into the top 8 in the standings as we take a look at the Western Conference table. But right now doesn't have RGV FC sitting in. They are 6 points back of OKC Energy FC, who owns the 8th and final spot. Now, if the season ended today, San Antonio FC, because of the tiebreaker, would actually be 3rd in the table, and they would play Sacramento Republic FC in a Western Conference quarterfinal. Well, you see San Antonio FC's got a game in hand on Reno 1868. So even in the points, with a game in hand, San Antonio FC controls their fate to not only getting into second, but still only 5 points back of Real Monarchs SLC, who was held to a draw last night by Orange County. So it is still there for San Antonio FC to try to finish atop the Western Conference table, potentially have home field advantage throughout the USL playoffs. Well, for San Antonio FC, their resurgence over the last few weeks has been led by Ever Guzman, the 29-year-old from Mexico. In his 14th pro season tonight, will make his 4th start of the season. He was instrumental on that road trip for San Antonio FC. Here's a guy who's appeared in over 200 games in the Mexican League. He's a former member of the Mexican Under-17 World Cup entry, and he brings a lot of experience, and he brings a lot of fireworks to the attack up front for San Antonio FC. He'll play alongside Cesar Elizondo and be part potentially of a starting 11 tonight for San Antonio FC that could very well be the 11 that Darren Powell uses when they go to the opening round of the Western Conference quarterfinals and Western Conference playoffs. Well, tonight's a big match. Of course, it's the South Texas Derby. These teams have not met since March. It's amazing that the 2 closest teams in the USL, and they have not met since the opening week of the season. And, well, with a lot of points at stake for RGV FC, they have brought down a strong contingent of Houston Dynamo players. It's a hybrid affiliation for RGV with Houston Dynamo supplying players including Memo Rodriguez, who's going to suit up tonight for his 4th game for RGV FC. He's got 3 goals already in 3 appearances for the Toros. Callie Brown will make his 10th start in the net, so expect a good challenge from RGV as San Antonio FC tries to close down that magic number a little closer as they look for that home field playoff spot. It is Military Appreciation Night here tonight at Toyota Field as we recognize and honor our servicemen and women across South Texas. San Antonio FC, RGV FC, the South Texas Derby, when we return after this.
Can we help?
Well, I'm thirsty.
We have juice, teas, and over 100 ways to create your drink with our Coca-Cola Freestyle.
Wow, that's a lot of drinks.
Need a boost? We've got fresh coffee and great deals on energy drinks.
That's cool and hot.
Ready to relax? Check out our craft beer and wine selection.
Classy.
How else can we help?
That's it. I'll just take these. Thanks.
Don't forget the
We're
milk.
your juice, tea, soda, coffee, energy drink, beer, wine, milk, and more store. We're fresh and friendly. We're Corner Store.
Look for the silver door, Timmy.
All right, here we go.
Timmy! What is this place? Welcome to the Spurs Retirement Club.
This is nice.
Here we have all-you-can-eat H-E-B Prime 1 steaks.
Awesome. And here's your monogram steak, sir. Cooked to perfection.
Plus an unlimited supply of creamy creations, ice cream. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
H-E-B Prime 1, just like they serve in the finest restaurants.
Gotta crank this party up a notch.
When it needs to be ultra exciting, high flying, non-stop action, San Antonio FC Soccer's got you covered. When it needs to be high performing, hard working, high tech, super safe, built for comfort, and surprisingly affordable, Holt Cat has got you covered. With best-in-class cat heavy equipment, engines, generators, and more, plus legendary service and support, and the largest parts inventory and distribution network in Texas. Kick it into high gear with Holt Cat.
I'm not the type to say any of this mushy garbage. You know what? I'm going for it.
You are completely and utterly
Awesome. I'm glad you showed up.
in my life.
I think I'm about to cry. You better not.
Every single time I
Get down!
you always have
My back's
really hard to describe. It's like all these tiny little things
yes, things.
are actually friendship.
Military Appreciation Night, so key in Spurs Sports and Entertainment. San Antonio FC recognizing their servicemen and women who do so much for our community here tonight.
On behalf of Toyota and San Antonio FC, for all those who have served and all those who are serving, thank you so much for your service in providing the freedoms that we get to cherish every day.
Really quick, just wanted to give a huge shout out to my brother Luis, who serves in the military, and also to everyone else that serves and defends our country. Thank you so much.
On behalf of Toyota and San Antonio FC, we want to thank all of the active duty and those who have served in the military from the bottom of our hearts for all of your service. Thank you so much.
And a big shout out to Caroline Buck, serving the Navy. I love you, Boothang.
On behalf of the team and everybody here, we just want to thank all the people in the military for your service. I want to give a special shout out to one of my really good friends, my brother Paul Fancy, who's currently serving, has been serving for a little while. And yeah, we love you guys, and thank you for all you do to let us enjoy our freedoms here in this country. Thank you.
It's great when your players know someone in the military, a relative, a friend, and that is why Military Appreciation Night, again, has become so important across all Spurs Sports and Entertainment franchises over the years. Let's take a look at tonight's starting 11 for both sides. Last time that San Antonio FC and RGV Toros FC played was March 26th, and only 14 of the 22 in both starting 11s are going to be in the starting 11 tonight. For San Antonio FC, well, 4-2-3-1 formation tonight, as we mentioned. Ever Guzman up top. Diego Restrepo will make his 23rd start of the season. He gave up 5 goals Sunday afternoon in Kansas City, and yet still sports goals against average of .8, which has him tied for the Golden Glove race in the USL with 4 games remaining. San Antonio FC featuring a lineup tonight, again, that we mentioned could very well be their starting 11 in the Western Conference quarterfinals coming up. RGV Toros FC at 8-13-7 tonight in a 4-4-2 formation for them with Kyle Murphy and Jose Escalante up top. Callie Brown, as we mentioned, makes his 10th start of the season. He is 4-2-3. He has only given up 8 goals in his 9 starts. He led the University of Virginia to a 2014 national championship. And you take a look at Eric Bird, their captain, was part of that championship team. He works in the midfield along with Memo Rodriguez. 3 goals and 3 starts for RGV Toros FC as they make their way up to San Antonio tonight to take on San Antonio FC. Let's look at our head coaches for tonight. For Darren Powell, must feel good having that playoff berth clinched. You know, when I talked to Darren during the season, he frames the season as he talks to his players in different goals. Goal 1, of course, clinching a playoff spot. That's been achieved. Goal 2 now is trying to clinch a home field playoff spot, and that's what's top of mind for him. And then, of course, Goal 3 is trying to clinch a regular season championship, which is still very much alive for San Antonio FC with just a 5-point gap separating them and Real Monarchs SLC. On the other side, Junior Gonzalez is in his first season coaching RGV Toros FC. You know, what's amazing about the Toros is that this was a team that last year finished second in the Western Conference with a record of 14-7-9, 51 points, and they returned 16 players from last year's team, and yet they find themselves really clinging to any potential playoff hope. And they really need to run the table over their final 5 games of the regular season here, or final 4 games of the regular season, rather, to have any hope of getting a playoff spot. And, you know, it starts tonight, and that's why they bring down a heavy contingent of Houston Dynamo players. This is a club that has 4 Houston Dynamo draft picks, 2 homegrown players, including Memo Rodriguez, and so they've got some familiarity. They were also the team, if you remember, that San Antonio FC was chasing for that longest consecutive shutout streak that RGV set last season. San Antonio FC ended up falling about 40-plus minutes short of that. There's a look at Todd Wharton, second-year player from Richmond, Virginia. He also, along with Eric Bird, played on that UVA championship team back in 2014 with Callie Brown, and looks to try to get 3 points tonight for RGV here in the second installment of the South Texas Derby. We are underway. Happy to have you along with our entire crew. Dan Weiss upstairs in the broadcast booth. San Antonio FC in their home black kits trimmed in white and red. RGV Toros FC in their away orange kits trimmed in black and white. And again, colors of the Houston Dynamo, a hybrid affiliate. Second season that the Toros have had this working relationship with Houston Dynamo, owned by the same organization that also owns the Rio Grande Valley Vipers of the NBA G League. And again, this is one of 2 matchups between these 2 teams over the final 4 weeks of the regular season. San Antonio FC here on the attack early in the match is trying to bounce back from what was their worst loss in club history. Conceded 5 goals last Sunday in Kansas City, losing 5-2. And 2 goals was a positive for San Antonio FC, but obviously conceding 5 was not to the liking of head coach Darren Powell. He wants to see them, of course, get back to their defensive-minded ways. Diego Restrepo, 11 clean sheets on the season, continues to lead the USL among all keepers, and remains just 2 shutouts away from tying, or 3 shutouts away from tying the all-time USL record. Ibiaga lifts the ball over the top into the area, and Callie Brown at 6'6" will make his first touch of the match. Brown, interesting story with him at Virginia, actually quit the team as a junior. Got beat out for the starting keeper job, and then came back in his senior season, and that was 2014, and along with Eric Bird and Todd Wharton, they led the Cavaliers to an NCAA championship. It was a good challenge here, as moving upfield is Justin Bilyeu, and the offside flag goes up. Kyle Murphy. Murphy, 24-year-old, 6 goals, leads RGV Toros FC on the attack, also leads them with 14 points and 40 total shots. San Antonio FC, Billy Forbes scored his 8th goal of the campaign last Sunday in Kansas City. He's tied for 18th in the USL in goals. He's also tied for 9th with his 6 assists. And his 8th goal last night was his 21st goal of his professional career, and it was his 18th goal scored as part of San Antonio's soccer stardom. Cesar Elizondo on the ball here in the attacking third of the field. As he works it, Tierpak onside, unable to get a clean shot away. It was a good job here by RGV Toros FC getting back defensively. There's Jose Escalante converging on the ball there, along with Joseph Holland, and the foul is on the Dynamo player, Joseph Holland. Will give San Antonio FC a free kick. As Pekka draws the possession infraction. Michael Radtruck is our center referee tonight, along with Francisco Bermudez and Andrea Jadel. 4th official, Elton Garcia. Pretty usual crew that we see here at Toyota Field. Holland getting a conversation from Michael Radchuk here in the opening minutes of this one. We mentioned for San Antonio FC the 4 games remaining for them in the schedule. 5 games in total, including tonight. They get Tulsa, Tampa Bay, Portland, and then RGV once again on the final Saturday of the season. This ball lifted into the area in space, and a foul committed by Sebastian Ibiaga inside the 18-yard box, and RGV Toros FC will earn possession. Toros earned a 1-0 victory at home over Reno 1868. Rare loss for Reno. Not only a rare loss for Reno, but a rare game for 1868, which they didn't score. Reno is the leaders, 48 goals in USL. That has already broken the USL record for the most goals in a single season. First-year club that has been all offense, and that was on display against San Antonio FC in Nevada back in August. Billy Forbes concedes possession, but Michael Reed come back on the ball here defensively for San Antonio FC. Stephen McCarthy sliding back into the center back spot tonight in place of Cyprian Hedrick. So your back 4 is Newnham, Ibiaga, McCarthy, and Cochran. Pekka and Reed in the holding midfield spot. Newnham will let this one dribble out of bounds here. It'll set up our first corner kick of the match. RGV Toros FC will see from them a heavy possession game, 52% possession on the season, and interestingly enough as well, 87 successful crosses this year for the Toros compared to just 62 for San Antonio FC, who at the beginning of the season was a heavy counter club and has started to build up a little bit more possession as the season has gone along. 47% possession for them entering into tonight's match for the season. Escalante drifting back to Eric Bird and into the area, and play on, says Eric Bermudez. As Escalante was trying to draw the contact and the penalty. And Eric Bird moving upfield is challenged hard by Stephen McCarthy for the foul. McCarthy came up in possession, and he'll slip back. Stephen McCarthy sitting on 8 cautions this season. He has served 2 suspensions for his card accumulation to this point. This is the 6th all-time meeting between San Antonio FC and RGV Toros FC, and it has been a all-time series dominated by the Toros. 3-1-1 RGV with the edge, outscoring San Antonio FC 7-3 in the 5 matches to this point. Jose Escalante and Memo Rodriguez over the ball here. Rodriguez, right-footed striker. Escalante, left-footed midfielder. It'll be Rodriguez who will lift it into the area, into the catching arms of Diego Restrepo. Great crowd on hand here tonight, as you'd expect for the South Texas Derby. In fact, tonight, all proceeds from tonight's tickets sold will go to hurricane relief efforts. Tremendous gesture by San Antonio FC. Elizondo. Chris Tierpak, and a good challenge there for the Toros as they take over possession. Escalante serves it ahead. In space was Kyle Murphy trying to get possession, and this will be a throw-in awarded for San Antonio FC, to the disbelief of the young Kyle Murphy. Greg Cochran on the ball, his 27th appearance of the season. All 27 games have been starts for him. Him and Sebastian Ibiaga tied for the team lead in minutes. Both players have missed only one game this season because of suspension. For Cochran, it was accumulation of a red card, and for Ibiaga, it was just simply accumulation of too many cautions. Billy Forbes a little heavy on the ball as this one's lifted back down into San Antonio FC's third of the field as Ben Newnham goes back to give chase. It was Newnham's goal that gave San Antonio FC the 1-0 win in Orange County last Wednesday night that gave San Antonio FC the stamp on their first ever trip to the USL playoffs. And now it's all about positioning for San Antonio FC. And as mentioned, the next goal for Darren Powell is to try to earn one of those 4 home field playoff spots. And again, the magic number for San Antonio FC is 9, sitting at 52 points. The only team that can get to more points than what San Antonio FC is looking for is Phoenix. They can get up to 61 points should they win out. That's why the magic number is 9. Tierpak, top of the box, and then concedes possession. Holland will work it over to Escalante. This will go off Newnham. He thought it went off Escalante. And the throw in for RGV Toros FC. RGV much better at home than they are on the road. In fact, just 2-7-5 since July the 8th. They've been outscored 27-16. This is after they started 6-6-2 on the season. They've been outscored 30-14 away from the brand new HEB Park down in the Valley, but we're at home. They're 5-4-5 and have outscored the opposition 19-13. San Antonio FC still with an unblemished home record, 6-0-6 as they come into play this evening with 3 home games left. And they have outscored the opposition 18-6 here at home, 19-12 on the road, so they've been pretty good away from Toyota Field as well. It's interesting, though, for San Antonio FC. You go back, of course, to the great start, 6-0-1 in their first 7 games in March and April. They outscored the opposition 18-4 in those games, and only got 5 wins in their last 16 overall matches. 5-3-8 going back to June the 1st, and have actually now been outscored 15-14 in those contests. Tierpak as he attacks. Into the box, Ever Guzman off his right foot, and Billy Forbes couldn't keep it alive. Good little setup from Tierpak, along with 6 goals. Also has got 3 assists this season too, and was looking for number 4 there as it went off Ever Guzman. Ever Guzman, 230 appearances in the Mexican League from Morleón, Mexico. Playing in the 2nd division, much of that career. And he was a key signing for San Antonio FC in the middle part of the season back in early August, as Darren Powell sensed his team was lacking a little bit of offense up top. Weren't getting the scoring from Billy Forbes as they saw early in the season. In fact, Billy, for a long time, had been stuck on 6 goals, got his 7th in the middle of July, and it wasn't until in defeat last Sunday that he picked up his 8th of the USL campaign. So Ever Guzman, along with Omar Gordon, Mike Seth, brought on to try to bring in some offense for San Antonio FC, and it's worked a little bit here. And they've got a couple of crooked numbers on the board as of late. RGV Toros FC will be awarded a free kick here in the 13th minute as we approach the first quarter hour of the match at Toyota Field. Slip to the top of the box, Murphy for Eric Bird, who worked it back into the area, but the clearance easily for McCarthy. Ivan Magalhães from Brazil, back to Cali Brown, and to the outside he'll go for Kai Green, along with Kevin Garcia. Green will play on that fullback spot on the right side. Garcia slided into the center back spot with Magalhaes tonight. San Antonio FC awarded a goal kick here. Diego Restrepo with a record of 10-3-8 through his 21 starts. I mentioned leading the USL with his 11 clean sheets, 56 saves on 17 goals allowed, 73 total shots, which amazing after giving up 5 goals again. His goals against remains below 1 for the season at .8, a save percentage of 76%. Tied for the top spot of the Golden Glove race. Bilyeu with the interception upfield. And Eric Bird with the errant pass picked off by McCarthy. Forbes stays onside. Gathers the ball, but could not keep it alive along the byline, and RTV Toros FC will take over. Early numbers from the match, it's been heavily in San Antonio FC's favor, 61% possession. Either team with an official shot so far in the match. Ever Guzman the closest to this point. One that went off his right foot that dribbled wide of goal. Stephen McCarthy, 29 years of age, as he works it off to Greg Cochran. Between Cochran and McCarthy, a combined 97 games of Major League Soccer experience between LA, Chicago, and New England, where for McCarthy, he spent his entire MLS career with the Revs. San Antonio FC awarded a foul on the attack. Todd Wharton committing the infraction. Billy Forbes trying to push forward ahead, and Wharton sticking out the right foot to trip up Billy. And this is off of Michael Reed. Throw in here for RGV Toros FC. Garcia. Also down from Houston Dynamo, Kevin Garcia. 2 games with the Dynamo last season. 7th appearance to the Toros this year. Bilyeu upfield. Escalante into the area. Escalante! 1-0 RGV Toros FC as Jose Escalante delivers his 4th goal of the campaign. I think this is just a poor read on the ball here by Diego Restrepo. This is an excellent shot, though, by Escalante as he picks the upper right corner. Just inside the box, and a native of Honduras has got his 4th goal of the season and a big first goal for RGV Toros FC here on the road. They desperately need a victory.
The 17th minute. San Antonio FC 0, Rio Grande Valley FC 1.
San Antonio FC has only conceded first in 8 matches this season. And they've only won once when conceding first. And that was on the recent road trip in Salt Lake City. We're down 1-0 very late in the game and then scored twice in a matter of 2 minutes to steal an almost unthinkable 3 points in Rio Tinto Stadium as they started the road trip with a bang. Well, that is a massive goal for Jose Escalante and the Toros here on the road trying to keep their playoff hopes, their dire playoff hopes alive. And for RGV Toros FC now, +5, the all-time goal differential against San Antonio FC. A little sneaky run by Elizondo into the box, but the ball never got through to him on the delivery by Michael Reed. So Diego Restrepo gives up his 6th goal now over the last 107 minutes played. Soccer fans, Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, go to nikesoccer.com. Hard foul by Escalante, and then after the fact, it's Ben Newnham who may have delivered a more egregious infraction on Jose Escalante. Newnham, and a little tap to the back of the head of Escalante, a little bit more embellished perhaps. Discussion from Ben Newnham. It was a hard challenge by Escalante. He drags Newnham down, and you see Newnham, his right foot right at the end. It's a kick. It's, again, a little bit more embellished by Escalante more than anything else. And Newnham will be sent off here in the 21st minute as a red card has been handed out to him. So San Antonio FC not only down a goal, but now will have to play 10 men for the final 70 minutes of the match. Certainly not ideal. So Newnham gets sent off here in the 21st minute. And on top of that, we'll also miss San Antonio FC's match next week as well. Wasn't the red card that was shown to Ben Newnham. He just pointed him off the field. Oh, Escalante. Already a key figure in the match with his opening goal, and now his tactics perhaps working to the advantage of RGVFC Toros as Newnham gets sent off here. Again, I think Newnham is wrong in every sense and fashion here on this. It's a deliberate kick to the back of the head. Now, that's a heavy embellishment by Jose Escalante. But that is without question a deliberate kick to the back of the head after the hard foul. So, by the book, perhaps that's what the referee had to call, regardless of whether or not the force of the kick really delivered much in the way of injury to Escalante, and I'm sure it didn't. He looks fine there on the sideline right now, getting ready to come back into the game. He certainly sold it well. And Newnham has been sent off, and San Antonio FC will play with 10 men. So a rough start for San Antonio FC in round 2 of the South Texas Derby. They go down 1-0 in the 17th minute to Jose Escalante's pretty goal from the left corner of the box, finding the upper corner of the net, and then Ben Noonan sent off in the 21st minute. There's kick to the back of the head of Jose Escalante. It'll be a one-game suspension at minimum for Noonan, if not more. Against San Antonio FC, playing a team that, at least standings-wise, you'd figure they should beat, but the South Texas Derby, you could throw the records right out the window. Not to mention the quality of a lineup that Junior Gonzalez has been delivered here tonight from his affiliate in Houston. So for now, San Antonio FC will play 3 back, although Pekka trying to drift over to that right fullback spot. Cochran and Callie Brown puts it over the bar and off the netting. It'll be the first corner of the match for San Antonio FC. As Cochran turned to the outside on Magalhaes, and Callie Brown, even at 6'6", wasn't taking any chances. Deep corner, McCarthy heads it down. Second header on net by Elizondo. Callie Brown there to make the save. I don't think Elizondo got all of it that he wanted, but that was volleyed along well by McCarthy back in the direction of Elizondo, who settled under it. Justin Billiard will take the throw in. St. Louis native. He's actually a first-round draft pick by New York Red Bulls, 13th overall, or check that, 18th overall back in 2016. Billiard played at Southern Illinois Edwardsville, very kind of off-the-radar college when it comes to big-time collegiate programs, but a very strong soccer college, in fact. Andrew Moulin, who was recently signed by San Antonio FC, is a recent graduate of SIU Edwardsville. Here's Billiou again on the ball. Pekka, who's been forced to go back and play in Ben Noonan's spot, serve it upfield. Again, San Antonio FC playing with 10 men. With the final 70 minutes of the match, slipped through. Escalante in the box, looking far post. And he might have been looking for Kyle Murphy, who will track this one, although outside the area. Todd Wharton. Ibiaga the clearance. Sebastian Ibiaga leading the USL in clearances coming into tonight's matchup for Defender of the Year in the USL. Might be San Antonio FC's MVP this season. Memo Rodriguez shrug off a challenge. Fancy footwork there from Rodriguez, and he lost it along the byline. Well, Memo Rodriguez, this is a guy who has gone through every level of the Houston Dynamo. Alumnus of the Dynamo Academy, he's the first player to progress through each level of the club's development program, from the academy to RGVFC and to the Dynamo first team. Memo, 6 appearances this season with the Dynamo and 2 goals, go along with 1 assist. Very exciting young player from Wharton, Texas. He's 22 years of age and one of 2 homegrown contracts that are currently playing for this RGV Toros squad. Rodriguez was the Dynamo Academy, player of the year back in 2012 and 2013. Their other homegrown player is on the bench tonight in the 18. That's Christian Lucatero. You could see in the second half, although with a 1-0 lead, Lucatero will likely be an offensive substitution, and that might not be what Junior Gonzalez necessarily needs as this game progresses. Rodriguez concedes possession, but kept alive in the midfield by the Toros. Bilyeu was waived in the middle of the season by the Red Bulls after making just a couple of appearances for the first side and mostly in non-MLS action. Magalhaes to the outside, Justin Bilyeu. Rodriguez fouled from, not fouled. Billy Forbes thought he was going to get called, but San Antonio FC goes on the counter instead. Elizondo as he looks upfield. And a little skillful footwork there for Elizondo. San Antonio FC maintains possession. Pekka. Elizondo to the outside, Tierpak. Looking to match his goal total from a year ago in Swope. 6 already this season, had 7 a year ago for the Western Conference finalists. Forbes finds a seam to the box. Forbes just ran out of real estate as he had tried to attack towards the 6. And that looked like it went off the hand of Eric Bird, and everybody outside the playing field thought so too. Unless, of course, they were on the RGVFC Toros bench. Tierpak fouled in the area. Play on. Now the foul against San Antonio FC, and Darren Powell might have a pretty good beef here. That's a hard challenge by Todd Wharton inside the box. Should have been a penalty awarded for San Antonio FC. Did not play the ball. Bilyeu upfield, settled inside the area. Kyle Murphy, great job by Ibeagha to get back and break up what would have been a scoring opportunity. And it'll also be a goal kick as well, as it ended up going off Murphy. This is a fabulous recovery by Ibeagha. And that is why he's up for the Defender of the Year. And again, in a lot of people's minds, he very well could be San Antonio FC's MVP. Now, I know a lot of the accolades have gone to Diego Restrepo this year with his 11 clean sheets, and not to take anything away from Diego. He's been outstanding in the nets, but Sebastian Ibeagha has done just about everything with this club this year. Elizondo couldn't slip one through. Good ball for Escalante. Pekka. Sit away. Escalante with a foul. The fans want Escalante to go into the books. So too does Ibeagha, along with Michael Reed and Pekka, but Escalante will stay caution-free here. Necessarily sure that would have been worthy of a caution. I think when you have a guy with a target on his back like Escalante from the capacity crowd here at Toyota Field, as well as San Antonio FC right now, the guy's already scored. He's already drawn a player being sent off for San Antonio FC with, again, which was a pretty flagrant infraction by Ben Noonan, but added his own embellishment to it. And I think that, in a way to keep it fair, is the best way to put it. not taking Newnham away from any responsibility and not letting him off the hook. There has to be accountability, and it was, again, very flagrant infraction by Newnham. Did Escalante sell it a little bit? Absolutely. Kyle Murphy with a push off here. So I think when that kind of all adds up, you get a little bit of, well, I guess tempers flaring, so to speak, from the combatants on the field, and certainly from the home side here at San Antonio. As we cross into the 35th minute of the match, Escalante's goal in the 17th minute, standing with a 1-0 lead for the visitors. Reed with a good service into the box. Callie Brown parries it back out to midfield. Forbes will take the throw in here. Pekka. As Elizondo and Guzman converge, and instead it's Kevin Garcia with a clearance back upfield. Forbes. Challenge from Kai Green. And well, Green may get a caution here for a little bit of, I guess, lollygagging perhaps. He's at least going to get a talking to from what's been a busy Michael Radchuk here in this opening half. Kai Green, also in his second year with the Toros. Again, this is a team that last year finished second in the Western Conference, had the league's longest shutout streak put together over 2 months. Lost in the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs, losing 3-2 against OKC Energy FC, the number 7 seed. Forbes into the area just beyond the outstretched foot again inside of Ever Guzman, who's been all over the ball here tonight. Tierpak play this off Bill U for a corner for San Antonio FC. Guzman's been close twice tonight. San Antonio FC with their second corner of the match, as Forbes will come over to take it by the right corner stick. 37th minute, 1-0 RGV on Jose Escalante's beautiful goal in the 17th minute. Bill, you will have this one out of danger. Reed back under the ball for Forbes. Blocked aside. Michael Reed will go back to get it up midfield. Sit back to Diego Restrepo. Again, the Toros have been a thorn in San Antonio FC's side. They finished off the elimination of San Antonio FC in the regular season finale a year ago when San Antonio FC needed all 3 points to squeak into the postseason. Instead, San Antonio FC ended up getting whitewashed by Rio Grande Valley by a score of 3-0. It was here at Toyota Field where San Antonio FC and RGV FC went back and forth in a match that the Toros ended up winning in stoppage time, taking a 3-2 win. Offside flag on Tierpak. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. Is that Restrepo feature still going at halftime? Ty Green. Upfield. A little bit beyond Eric Bird. He wears the armband as the Toros captain. Native of Virginia Beach, was drafted by Philadelphia. Second round back in 2015. Pekka. This moved by Billy Forbes. Promptly lost possession, but San Antonio FC will earn themselves. There'll be a free kick here, with a bit of a late foul. And for Michael Reed, who has been the captain all season for San Antonio FC. He's been one of their best leaders, as you'd expect this season. Reed with a good ball into the area. Brown and McCarthy, and it's Callie Brown, who only matches Steven in size. The only other player on the pitch taller than Stephen McCarthy at Callie Brown at 6'6". And that 1 inch served him well over the 6'5" McCarthy there in the area off the set piece. Green, defended by Tierpak. Rodriguez, as he looks for the ball on the outside, headed away by Pekka. It's Memo Rodriguez once again. Slips it for Bilyeu. Bilyeu, nice service into the 6-yard area. Restrepo. Cat-like instincts and reflexes to snag that one from any potential danger. This ended up being a better build-up here for Rio Grande Valley FC than perhaps San Antonio imagined, as Bilyeu got that one through. As we approach halftime, San Antonio FC again playing with 10 men. Ben Noonan sent off in the 21st minute for his kick to the back of the head of Jose Escalante, looking at a minimum 1-game suspension already. And we'll see what happens beyond that once the officials from the United Soccer League take a look after the fact. Escalante also has the goal that has the Toros up in this first half. Billy Forbes now on the right side as he attacks and concedes. Bilyeu will take it away from him. That was a good challenge by McCarthy, and he deserved better. And boy, again, this is going to end up being a yellow on McCarthy. What I thought was a pretty good tackle there by Steven, but he'll go into the books as well here for San Antonio in the 42nd minute. And I'm sure San Antonio FC is going to point right back to the Wharton no call on the Tierpak foul in the box earlier in this half, which was a very similar foul. That wasn't called, and this one ends up going in the books for McCarthy. That's a good challenge there for McCarthy. Comes from an angle a little bit. I could certainly accept that. Is it worthy of a caution? I'm not sure. It's the 9th yellow card that McCarthy has racked up this season. Holland along the outside here, making the run. Stripped of the ball. San Antonio FC will go the other way with it. Reed upfield. Just not a great ball there for Elizondo, who had plenty of operating room ahead of him and would have led to a pretty decent scoring chance there for San Antonio if Reed could have threaded it through cleanly. Makeshift back line for San Antonio FC playing with 10 men. As we've seen Pekka slide back to Noonan's spot on the right side, while also trying to push forward into his holding midfield spot as well. Memo Rodriguez to the outside. Working along here with Eric Bird. Bird, the captain, outside the box. Works it back to the top of the area. Controlled here as Holland trying to step into one, and he couldn't get the opportunity off around Imiaga, who gets another clearance out of harm's way. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 8 Central. Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Coming up at the half, we'll hear from keeper Diego Restrepo. His journey, what's been a magical season for the 29-year-old from Venezuela. Restrepo 1 week away from retirement before getting a call from Darren Powell in March to join the club. At the time as what was a third keeper with Lee Johnston already on the squad behind Matt Cardoni. Cardoni injured in the early weeks of the season on the Cascadian road trip. Restrepo has not conceded the net since. 5 minutes of stoppage time will be added on here in the first half. And of course, a lot with the build-up with the foul by Newnham on Escalante that had Newnham pleading after he was sent off by the referee. The strike goes wide of goal. The outside attempt there by Jose Escalante, looking for his second goal. About 2 feet wide there from the 22-year-old who is on loan from his club team in Honduras. Second straight season Escalante on loan here with the Toros. His 20th appearance, 20 starts for Escalante, and has his 4th goal of the season here tonight at the 17th minute that has accounted for the scoring to this point. What should be a juicy second half coming up here at Toyota Field after we press on through stoppage time. San Antonio FC will have their work cut out for them, down 1-0 in the game and playing with 10 men. Forbes to the outside, Elizondo playing it wide of goal. Settled under that one, looked like it was going to be a little bit better in terms of the execution than what it eventually ended up being. It was a beautifully delivered ball there and got a little bit away from Cesar, and then by the time he circled back under it by the byline, he was already at a tough angle to try to put that one on goal. Instead went across the face of goal, but was never really in harm's way for Callie Brown. San Antonio FC, 2 shots, 1 on target in the first half. Rio Grande Valley Toros FC, 3 shots, 2 on target, including the goal. And despite playing with just 10 men, San Antonio FC has dominated the possession of this game, 55% here through the first half. Pekka. Forbes. Another good ball into the box. Off the back of Ever Guzman to the outside, cleared away. Pekka. Settle back under that. He's held the entire time, and they play on as Memo Rodriguez went down. Billy Forbes, 1 against 2. As he concedes possession, that's again a great tackle there by Pekka. It turns into a foul as Rodriguez goes down once again. Memo Rodriguez went down twice in that sequence. And again, that's a lot of ball from Pekka. 2 players going after the ball. Well, now you see a little bit on the back foot. Pekka got him on the follow through. Rodriguez, after the fact, remains on the pitch here. Something else happened as well in this sequence. Certainly inside of the tempers even more. Let's take a look at it again. Pekka got him a little bit there with the right foot. That was the first foul Pekka was not overly happy with. He walks away. Oh, he comes back and had a word for Memo Rodriguez. That's what it was. Almost taunting Rodriguez while he was on the field. Pekka's going to be served a yellow. He doesn't even want to talk to Michael Radchuk here right now. If he wants to stay on the field to play in the second half, he's going to have to. 45th minute, yellow card on Pekka. 21st minute, red card on Newnham. 42nd minute, yellow card on McCarthy. Billy Forbes, Memo Rodriguez, and Eric Bird all converge, and Michael Radchuk better get a handle on this game, or it's going to be a long night here in the second half. Radchuk and Darren Powell, I'm sure, are having a fruitful conversation right now. So while Pekka and Radchuk were conversing, Memo Rodriguez and Billy Forbes. And that was Eric Bird trying to, I guess, play peacemaker, perhaps. But I think when all is said and done, Pekka was the only player who went into the books. It's Pekka's fourth caution of the season. And this is interesting now because Michael Radchuk is having a word with Francisco Bermudez, his assistant referee here. Perhaps he might have seen something in addition, and Memo might be served a yellow card here as well. That's going to get the loudest cheer of the night at Toyota Field. So a yellow card to Memo Rodriguez here in stoppage time as well. A yellow card to Pekka in stoppage time. We are already 8 minutes into stoppage time, or what was an initial allotted 5. Of course, 5 has already been occupied by the extracurriculars that have dominated on the pitch. I think for San Antonio FC to be down 1-0 here, despite playing with 10 men, they still go into halftime in a pretty solid position here to at least try to get some points tonight. But they'll have to kind of keep their emotions under control, and halftime probably will come at a good opportunity here for San Antonio FC to just kind of recollect themselves here. And I think that'll be the task for Darren Powell and his crew at the half, as we have now played 9 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. 9 minutes is unusual in the second half. It's almost unheard of after 45 minutes. Rodriguez is back in midfield, not even making an effort to get up off the pitch right now. I think there's a little bit of physical fatigue going on too. Again, 54 minutes already in this first half. Could see Memo Rodriguez subbed off here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So Rodriguez is going to come off in place of TJ Kasner, who's going to come on here in stoppage time in the first half, which is now 10 minutes old. 10 minutes stoppage time in the first half. TJ Kasner comes on in place of Memo Rodriguez, who plays 45 very eventful minutes. Now we can't even get the throw in correctly done. Approaching 11 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. And yet this remains a 1-0 game. There's the halftime whistle. San Antonio FC and RGV Toros FC in the South Texas Derby. Boy, this is, well, it's not a spirited rivalry for nothing, folks. That was an entertaining 55 minutes on both sides. 1-0, RGV Toros FC with the lead on the goal by Jose Escalante in the 17th minute. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll visit him with San Antonio FC keeper Diego Restrepo, learning about his journey to where he has come to this point of the season. San Antonio FC with work to do down here at home in the second installment of the South Texas Derby. We'll take a break. More on our halftime when we return to Toyota Field after this.
They start so small, but bring big life changes. They are now your entire world. And that's why buying a home, protecting your assets, and setting up your family's future requires the right planning and expertise. Your cargo is precious, and your journey is just beginning. It's your story, and we can help. SWBC.
Look for the silver door, Timmy.
All right, here we go.
Timmy! What is this place? Welcome to the Spurs Retirement Club.
This is nice.
Here we have all-you-can-eat HEB Prime 1 steaks.
Awesome.
And here's your monogram steak, sir. Cooked to
perfection.
Plus, an unlimited supply of creamy creations, ice cream. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
HEB Prime 1, just like they serve in the finest restaurants.
Gotta crank this party up a notch.
Halftime at Toyota Field, San Antonio FC down 1-0 to Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. Well, Diego Restrepo has, of course, been in the spotlight for San Antonio FC all season, filling in for the injured Matt Cardoni early in the year. He has started 21 of San Antonio's 27 matches. He is just a few shutouts away from the all-time record of clean sheets in the USL. But it didn't necessarily start that way for Diego Restrepo at the start of the season, as we hear a little bit about his story and where he's gotten to today.
So they say goalkeeping is a special breed. Not anybody can do it, I think. I personally believe that you have to have a different mentality to the game and a different mentality to life. It's a position where basically you're all alone. Obviously start most of the practice by yourself with your goalkeeper core. You know, you have no range of mistakes or margin of errors. You just have to try to always be at a 99.9% accuracy of all your actions, because that 0.1% can let you down and can cost the game. As you mature and get older, you see the game different. You appreciate every minute that you get, even if it's during training or during a game. I try to do my best every day in every situation, because every situation can be your last. You know, I lived that, I tore my Achilles and I thought I was done playing. Coming back from that really helped me enjoy playing every minute, but also never taking anything for granted. Soccer is an emotional game. One play can bring you from the top to the bottom, so you have to learn how to control that and really believe in yourself and your abilities and try to let the game come to you. I try to visualize scenarios, remember good performances, and kind of put them in an image, and then that gives me the confidence and it builds the confidence that I'm gonna have a good game.
Looking at goal and a huge save by Diego Restrepo.
I'm Diego Restrepo, goalkeeper for San Antonio Football Club.
Restrepo in the hunt for the Golden Glove. He's in the hunt for the all-time clean sheet shutout record in the USL, but it's San Antonio's offense that's got work to do. Our halftime continues after this.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
Why do you not get me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
The road to the 2017 USL Cup playoffs continues to evolve. In Week 24, Real Monarchs SLC became the first team to clinch a spot in the postseason. But Week 26 saw two more clubs claim their position, with San Antonio FC doing so in midweek and Louisville City FC earning the first Eastern Conference postseason spot over the weekend. Maintaining their position as a top team in the Western Conference, Real Monarchs SLC were able to seal their position in the postseason in Week 24 despite falling to San Antonio FC. The Monarchs still clinched due to a loss by Oklahoma City Energy FC earlier in the night. San Antonio FC punched its ticket to the playoffs last Wednesday night on the road at Orange County SC. Ben Noonan tallied the lone goal of the game, which earned San Antonio FC its first trip to the postseason in club history. A hard-fought draw in front of a home crowd of more than 8,300 fans at Slugger Field put Louisville City FC in a position to clinch a spot in the USL Cup playoffs if other results went their way on the weekend. With Orlando City B falling to St. Louis FC on Saturday night, Lou City was officially in the playoffs for the third season in a row, and the first Eastern Conference side to do so. With plenty of teams still vying for a spot in the postseason, the playoff race continues to be one to watch. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome to Corner Store. How can we help?
Well, I'm thirsty.
We have juice, teas, and over 100 ways to create your drink with our Coca-Cola Freestyle.
Wow, that's a lot of drinks.
Need a boost? We've got fresh coffee and great deals on energy drinks.
That's cool. And hot.
Ready to relax? Check out our craft beer and wine selection.
Classy.
How else can we help?
That's it. I'll just take these. Thanks.
Don't forget the milk.
We're your juice, tea, soda, coffee, energy drink, beer, wine, milk, and more store. We're fresh and friendly. We're Corner Store.
Look for the silver door, Timmy.
All right, here we go.
Timmy! What is this place? Welcome to the Spurs Retirement Club.
This is nice.
Here we have all-you-can-eat H-E-B Prime 1 steaks.
Awesome.
And here's your monogram steak, sir. Cooked to perfection.
Plus an unlimited supply of creamy creations, ice cream. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
H-E-B Prime 1, just like they serve in the finest restaurants.
Gotta crank this party up a notch.
When it needs to be ultra exciting, high flying, non-stop action, San Antonio FC Soccer's got you covered. When it needs to be high performing, hard working, high tech, super safe, built for comfort, and surprisingly affordable, Holt Cat has got you covered. With best-in-class cat heavy equipment, engines, generators, and more, plus legendary service and support, and the largest parts inventory and distribution network in Texas. Kick it into high gear with Holt Cat.
I'm not the type to say any of this mushy garbage.
You know what? I'm going for it.
You are completely and utterly
awesome. I'm glad you showed up.
In my life.
I think I'm about to cry. You better not.
Every single time I
get down,
you always have
my back. My back.
It's really hard to describe. It's like all these tiny little things.
Yes, things.
Are actually friendship.
Halftime at Toyota Field, San Antonio FC down a goal, Rio Grande Valley FC with a 1-0 lead here tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Dan Weiss. Interesting first half, to say the least, as we played 55 minutes of full soccer in that opening half, and it was filled with just about everything. There was the goal, there was drama, there was players being sent off, and for San Antonio FC, there's work to be done coming up in the second half. Let's take a look at what happened in the opening half. Again, it was filled with a lot of drama, to say the least. And it started chippy, and eventually it led to the game's lone goal as Jose Escalante delivered in the 17th minute. San Antonio FC had an opening opportunity with Ever Guzman, who's had a couple of chances tonight. And that's where the chippiness kind of came in That was after the goal that was scored by Escalante as Ben Noonan was sent off, red carded in the 21st minute, kicking the back of Escalante. 4 minutes earlier, here was Escalante. Beautiful goal to the upper left corner of the net that gave Rio Grande Valley the lead. San Antonio FC, couple of late chances. Guzman again inside the area as it went off his right foot, and then Cesar Elizondo settling under this one, but playing it wide of goal. And then really tempers flaring in stoppage time as Pekka and Memo Rodriguez collide. Pekka served up a caution. Billy Forbes and Eric Bird all kind of getting in the mix of things. And finally, after 10 minutes of stoppage time, we were finally given the halftime break. Here's a look at the halftime numbers. 3 shots, 1 on target for Rio Grande Valley FC, and just the 1 shot on target for San Antonio. Again, interesting for San Antonio, playing with 10 men for more than half of that opening half. They dominated the possession, 57% against a team in Rio Grande Valley that has played the possession game very well this season. And you see 13 fouls were called in the half to go along with 4 cards that were handed out as well, too. We'll take a break. When we return, second half action from Toyota Field. It is 1-0 Rio Grande Valley FC with a lead here on Military Appreciation Night.
Little ideas can turn into big dreams. Big dreams require careful planning and the right partner. A partner dedicated to helping you take care of your employees, protect your business, and plan for the future. It's sometimes overwhelming. It's often exciting. It's your story, and we can help. SWBC.
Second half is underway here. With our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us. Second installment of the South Texas Derby. And if the second 45 minutes are anything like the first 45 minutes, we're going to be here a while tonight. Holland with the ball here for Escalante, and a late offside flag goes up, but the correct call there from the assistant referee along the sideline. Michael Radchuk was a busy man in that first half, handed out 4 cards, 3 to San Antonio, 2 yellows to McCarthy and Pekka, the red card to Noonan that has San Antonio FC playing with 10 men for the rest of the match. Melo Rodriguez was also awarded a yellow card in stoppage time, but he was subbed out after being unable to continue. TJ Kasner, wearing number 11, the product of Clemson University, taking his spot on the pitch right now. So again, we have a San Antonio FC team that's down a goal, down a man, and all of a sudden now looking potentially at the scoreboard tonight. We'll talk about that in a second. Pekka. Tierpak, quiet first half for Tierpak. He was taken down in the box on what appeared to be a foul from Todd Wharton that was not called by Radchuk. One of the few fouls that were let go in that first half of play. Had, of course, San Antonio fans up in arms. Could have obviously been a key moment in the match. That was after Escalante's goal had put the visitors ahead by 1. Magalhaes. And you'd expect almost a methodical Rio Grande Valley club here in the second half. They're not going to want to, I'm sure, push their luck playing a man up with a lead. But we'll see. San Antonio FC came into tonight's match even in points with Reno 1868 with 52, but with a game in hand. They were 4 points up on Swope Park Rangers, sitting in that last home field playoff spot. Well, Swope, who had scored 5 against San Antonio FC last Sunday, is rolling again tonight. They've got a 3-0 lead on the road in Colorado Springs over the Switchbacks. Later tonight, Reno is in action. They're at home against Portland. Sacramento is in action at home against Oklahoma City coming up later tonight. The worst case scenario for San Antonio FC is that they would be sitting in third, 1 point ahead of Swope, 3 points back of Reno, and getting a little bit closer, Sacramento at potentially 46 points. But Republic has one game in hand over San Antonio FC. And that's why 1 point at the minimum could make a world of difference in the standings for San Antonio FC here in the second half. But RGV's in the driver's seat here with a 1-0 lead and playing a man up for Darren Powell. What he has on the bench in terms of strategy he may use here in the second half will certainly be interesting. He's got Omar Gordon available tonight, as well as Mike Seff and Connor Presley for some offense and some fresh legs if he needs it. At some point, the question is, when does Darren pull the trigger on those substitutes, and for who necessarily? Tierpak will try to get him the ball a little bit more here in the second half. To the outside. Good tackle there for Escalante. There'll be a corner for San Antonio FC. Their third one coming up. Billy Forbes making his way over to take the corner here. Escalante, his 4th goal of the season tonight, that has RGV up 1-0. Left-footed striker Billy Forbes. There's McCarthy, Kevin Garcia, and Ivan Magalhaes all combined here in the center of the area. Forbes lobs this one. Elizondo gets under it. So too did Magalhaes. It'll be another corner here for San Antonio. Michael Reed now will take it over by the right corner stick. Deep ball from Reed. McCarthy can't get to this one. Goes off Magalhaes, and will do it again just on the other side now. So 3 consecutive corners for San Antonio FC. Billy will go back off to the left corner stick to try to get San Antonio on the board here off a set piece. A bit shorter played. And Elizondo in the area, and this time it was off Elizondo. And 3 cracks at it for San Antonio, but no cigar. Quiet night for that man, Callie Brown. 4 clean sheets coming into tonight's match, just 8 goals conceded for the former Virginia Cavalier, and serves as the second goalie for Houston Dynamo. Tierpak will earn a foul. Set piece for San Antonio here from a good spot. About 8 yards side of the box. Michael Reed coming over to take it. Foot race for the ball. It's Elizondo ahead of Kasner to get it. Billy Forbes defended by Green, and another corner for San Antonio FC. They're 4th already in this second half. Soccer fans, Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Along with our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks so much for joining us here from Toyota Field on this Saturday night. It's week 27 of the USL schedule. San Antonio FC down 1-0, playing with 10 men. Elizondo gets up, nearly delivered this one into goal, and Callie Brown will put it over the bar for another corner. Brought down well that time by Elizondo. Brown was off to the far side. And a slow San Antonio attacker just in front of Callie Brown. Well, that went off 2 Rio Grande Valley players, and TJ Kasner and Justin Billieu perhaps to save a goal. A little bit of a water break for both sides. Kasner, second full season, was drafted by Houston Dynamo back in 2016. As this is Billieu coming off here now for a moment. Kasner actually made it his debut with the Dynamo in the Open Cup win for Houston over San Antonio FC last June at BBVA Compass Stadium. It's his only appearance for the senior squad. Elizondo, who nearly leveled the game a moment ago, will return it to Pekka, who has shown his versatility tonight. Now we'll try to spring forward. Meanwhile, Elizondo will return it back to Diego Restrepo. Cochran. Tierpak couldn't get under it. Magalhaes defending it away. Elizondo with it back. Cesar, great save. Callie Brown steps up on Elizondo. And now Billieu with possession after Elizondo was thrown down to the pitch. San Antonio FC's best opportunity of the night. Callie Brown usually doesn't have to go down to make a save. He can stay level at 6'6". He went down there and makes a fine save on the equalizing opportunity there by Cesar Elizondo. Tierpak making the run. Settle under this one by the touchline. Taken away by Kai Green. Kasner. Upfield, nice run here. Murphy pinning off there Ibiaga. Ibiaga came back on the ball to win it away, then gets impeded a little bit, but stays with the play as he runs forward. And then Ibiaga a little bit out of control as he runs over Joseph Holland. It'll be a possession foul awarded for Ibiaga and San Antonio FC. Second substitute coming on here for Rio Grande Valley FC Toros as Escalante will come off in favor of Ruben Luna. Luna on in the 57th minute here. And a man down for the Toros. That is Escalante, who is getting ready to check out anyway. Ibiaga running like a gazelle at 6'2", 187 pounds. He even got fouled a couple of times in his own end of the field before he pushed forward and then rumbled his way. It's a big man over Joseph Holland. And of course, Ibiaga, who was in possession, and he ends up earning a possession foul. Let's take a look at the Western Conference table here as we get set for Ruben Luna to check in. We mentioned before, San Antonio FC, because of the one win fewer than Reno, they sit currently third in the table, even though both teams have 52 points. But if the result held tonight for San Antonio FC, they could potentially be just 1 point ahead of Swope Park Rangers, because it looks like Swope is going to get 3 points tonight, beating Colorado Springs 3-0. That would make an interesting race for the 4 top spots in the Western Conference. Callie Brown might have caught that one off the byline there, and should have been maybe a San Antonio FC corner. San Antonio FC, of course, they're looking, of course, for a home field playoff spot, but who they play in that opening round of the playoffs, they have certainly better matchups, I think. Tulsa would be more of an ideal matchup here as Elizondo off the steal. Back to the ball. Saved by Brown again. Michael Reed with a strike. And that was blocked in front by Garcia. So down a man, San Antonio FC has been the aggressor here early in the second half. It's a great effort so far from the home side. Brown fantastic in the second half. 2 key stops already with a half hour to play. Magalhaes, Kasner. And the reset here for RGV. Again, they're in control, so not trying to do anything out of their comfort zone, so to speak. Murphy. And this is where RGV can open up space here, but a bad ball from Murphy is picked off by Pekka, who then promptly concedes possession over to Kasner. Back to the captain, Eric Bird, and again, that midfield is going to start to become a lot more open for RGV as the second half continues. Murphy into the area, McCarthy with the clearance. Eric Bird back on the ball from about 30 yards away for Kasner. Rather, Holland spinning to the inside as he'll play out for Murphy. San Antonio FC getting back here. This one goes over Ever Guzman at center field. Holland. Stay with the ball, Holland. Now looking to play it wide. Nice job by Pekka. Keeps it back to the midfield. Bird back out for Kasner. Wharton. Switch ends here with Garcia. Into the 62nd minute. 1-0 RGV. Kai Green. Around Billy Forbes. Off there of Cochran. Down to Michael Reed. Forbes pushing over the top. Tierpak run down from behind. No foul. Darren Powell incensed. 8,000 fans at Toyota Field incensed. Not sure whether a one-on-one scoring chance in any situation when you're run from behind doesn't draw at least a possession foul. San Antonio FC will have the throw in here. They're going to make their first substitution of the night. Ryan Rashandel, who oftentimes has joined me in the broadcast booth, but he has all of a sudden become a very instrumental part for San Antonio FC because of not only his versatility of being in the broadcast booth, but he can play so many positions on the field. He's going to come on in the 63rd minute. This is his 8th appearance of the season. He's made 4 starts as well, but you can put Ryan in the midfield. You can put him on the back end too. And Ryan's going to come on for Greg Cochran here. Or excuse me, for Pekka. Beg your pardon. There's Spurs sideline reporter Kaylee Griffin. Enjoying her San Antonio FC match. Kaylee said this is the first one she's been to this season. Tierpak. Elizondo. Ibiaga. Cochran. Elizondo just outside the box. We'll work it back here for Ibiaga. San Antonio FC trying to set back up here in the 65th minute. Down a goal, looking for the equalizer. Cochran, Tierpak. Ever Guzman slowed up his run. Billy Forbes fouled in the box. Now, there's been fouls that should have been called. There have been fouls that maybe should not have been called. This is one I think that Billy might have embellished a little bit more, perhaps. I still would call the foul on Wharton back in the first half in the area on Tierpak, more so than that one. And Ibiaga's pushed from behind here. Quick free kick for San Antonio FC. Tierpak, Brown again with a save. It's his 3rd here of the half. In the 8th corner for San Antonio FC. Pressing for that equalizing goal. Forbes will take the corner. Cleared away. Reed can get that one through cleanly. Now the counter is where you got to watch out for San Antonio FC playing a man down. Reed hustles back. Rashandel, fresh legs here as RGV now pressing. Again, San Antonio FC playing a man down. Kai Green, edge of the box, off of Cochran. And it'll be the 2nd corner of the match here for the Toros. San Antonio FC has been close a couple of times. And officially 3 shots on Callie Brown here in the 2nd half alone. 4 total for the game for San Antonio FC. Kasner will come over to take the corner. Off Garcia. Murphy gives it a go. Redirected, but wide of goal. Was it off a San Antonio FC defender? It was. Another corner coming up. Omar Gordon getting set, it looks like, to come to the scorer's table and check in. Another corner from Kasner. And this time McCarthy gets in front of a Holland for the clearance. Guzman could not get the step around Wharton at midfield. Callie Brown's been excellent in the second half as San Antonio FC has pushed for the equalizing goal. But as we cross over into the 69th minute, it is RGV playing a man up and with the lead here at Toyota Field, trying to win for the 4th time in 6 all-time meetings between these two South Texas rivals. Nice ball from Ruben Luna for Kasner. Gives it a go. Good save by Diego Restrepo. Restrepo makes his best save of the night for the Clemson Tiger product, TJ Kasner. Diego climbing the ladder to keep this a 1-goal game. Kasner, the ensuing corner. Long ball over everyone. And San Antonio FC will have the throw-in. Omar Gordon will come on here in the 70th minute as he will take out Ever Guzman. Guzman had a couple of opportunities in this one tonight. Just so close, but couldn't get the finish. And so it's Omar Gordon who got his first goal with San Antonio FC Sunday in Kansas City in the 5-2 defeat to Swope Park. Tierpak looking for Gordon. Knocked aside. Tierpak back on the ball. Rashandel. First touch for Gordon's a pretty one back for Elizondo. And now Rashandel to the outside. Forbes. One touch volley in the direction of Gordon, but it didn't come through to him cleanly. Rashandel will give it back for Cochran. One substitute at the disposal for Darren Powell. One substitute at the disposal for Junior Gonzalez. Magalhaes will let this one roll across the touchline for a throw-in for the Toros. USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting USLsoccer.com, following them on Twitter at USL. Collision at midfield between McCarthy and Luna, and will result in a free kick here for RGV. Ruben Luna, by the way, came on in the 57th minute. 8th-year professional, 25 years of age. A lot of Major League Soccer experience. 27 games between FC Dallas and Sporting KC between 2010 and 2012. And Luna's got 4 goals in his 21 appearances this season. 9 of his 21 appearances off the bench. And this being his 22nd appearance here tonight, as he earns the free kick for RGV. By the way, these teams will meet again in the regular season finale on October 14th here at Toyota Field. What will be telling is whether the game will mean anything for either side. RGV, these could be a massive 3 points here tonight. They've got teams to climb in the standings, but they right now would push over Seattle if this result held for them, and they would also the 1 back of Colorado Springs, 2 back of Orange County. So they've got teams to climb over. Like I said, they've basically got to win out the rest of the way. Murphy on the attack. In space, Holland for Kasner to the outside. This one's going to go off Bilyeu, and that'll be a goal kick for San Antonio FC. But at the end of the day, you've got to put yourself in the conversation before you can really start talking about a playoff spot, and that's what RGV can do tonight with 3 points. They can just put themselves back in the conversation. They'll still have a monumental task ahead of them, but it becomes a little bit more realistic. As for San Antonio, with 4 games left after tonight, their task of trying to catch Real Monarchs SLC becomes tougher, but then they leave the door open just a little bit for potentially losing that home field playoff spot. It will not get easier for San Antonio FC next week. They go to Tulsa, who is right now hanging on to the number 7 spot in the table. The Roughnecks have been really good at home this year, and they beat San Antonio FC in Tulsa in an Open Cup match back in June. San Antonio FC, a couple weeks later, here at home, ended up earning a 3-1 victory over the Roughnecks. Forbes will lose this one along the line, and RGV will get the throw in. And then you get Tampa coming to town on October the 7th, and what becomes now maybe a very critical 3-game week for San Antonio FC, with the Rowdies in on a Saturday, Portland for the makeup game on Wednesday the 11th, and then these Toros again to finish the year on October 14th. Our final quarter hour of the match. San Antonio FC down 1-0. They've had their moments here in the second half. 3 shots on Callie Brown, but have been stymied by the 6'6" keeper all 3 times. Volleyed along for Omar Gordon, but Garcia gets back under it. But behind the play, Michael Reed is fouled, and a free kick coming up for San Antonio FC. Challenge from Magalhaes with a foul. So this is obviously a little deeper for a good strike on goal here. About 40 yards out. Reed gonna go over the top here and misses the 6'2" Ibiaga in the area. Reed back on the ball. He's gonna slide it off Bilyeu, and it'll result in San Antonio corner. They're 9th of the match. Haven't been able to do very much with these corners tonight, though. The really good opportunity was the Elizondo header earlier in this half. Forbes. Brown parries this one aside. Ibiaga brings it down, but hands it right to Kai Green with a clearance. Reed in the area, off McCarthy, trying to get a piece of it, could not. Tierpak just didn't get enough of what he wanted, trying to twist it around on his left foot.
Fans, thanks to each of you here tonight. San Antonio FC will be donating
a spot for a left-footed striker in Tierpak on his backside, trying to turn back around, and just didn't catch it again as obviously as he wanted to.
Thank you for all joining us and assisting our neighbors throughout the
Over
Texas
$100,000, it has been announced, will be donated to hurricane relief efforts tonight. That is the proceeds from tonight's ticket sales. And what is a sellout crowd on Military Appreciation Night at Toyota Field. And an incredibly generous gesture by San Antonio FC, and what has been, while they've been away for the last month, just unbelievable 4 weeks in terms of what has gone on in the tropics. McCarthy coming back on this one with Luna tracking him, and it'll be Restrepo. Play it aside. Remember, San Antonio FC was supposed to play Portland back on September 26th, but that game was proactively postponed because of Hurricane Harvey, which had yet to make landfall. With a good run here, Kasner into the area. Restrepo stepping up into the save. Restrepo caught out of position. The shot and another save. This one on the goal line there by Ibiaga as he bails out his keeper. And that's what happens when you're playing a man down. You need all hands on deck. Eric Bird. Giveaway, Rashandel, as he hands it back for Cochran. Moving the ball for Omar Gordon. A little bit of a push, play on. Green returns it to Callie Brown. RGV looking for just their 4th road win of the season. Looking for only their 3rd victory since July the 8th. It would be their 4th victory out of 6 all time against San Antonio FC if they can see the final 10 minutes through. Billy Forbes. Tierpak turns to the outside. Kasner with a foul. Oh, and again, you're down a man. You need all hands on deck. And this was Kasner, denied by Restrepo, back on the ball. Slips around the keeper and denied on the goal line by Sebastian Ibiaga. That keeps it a 1-goal game here now and keeps San Antonio alive in the final 10 minutes as Mike Seth will come on here in the final 10 minutes, taking out Chris Tierpak. Meanwhile, it's Michael Reed on the free kick. He scored on a free kick from a similar spot in LA to equalize. Lofts this one into the box, headed down. Brown the save. Comes back upfield, out of the box and away from danger. Another save for Callie Brown. 5th of the match, 4th in this half. This one again handled pretty calmly by the keeper, and again it was Elizondo getting his 3rd shot on target of the match. So Seth is on here late. Darren Powell has, of course, gone offense with his last 2 substitutions, and Omar Gordon and Mike Seth looking for that equalizing goal. Holland now. Todd Wharton. Kyle Murphy. Bird. Cochran. As Rochandle and Forbes work the combination, and it's sent upfield for Seth. Bird playing it across for Holland. Now on the attack here is this one over the top, intended for Kasner, but it's Ibiaga. Oh, dangerous ball with Ruben Luna nearly coming away with it. And they'll call a foul there on Luna. San Antonio FC trying to build up here from their end. Here's Elizondo. A bit of a push off. He'll earn a foul, and then it's Eric Bird after the fact. And he'll earn a yellow card. Eric Bird goes into the books in the 84th minute. His 5th yellow card of the season. It's Wharton now, who looks like he might be cramping up a little bit here. We got Bird and Elizondo just having a moment here. Rivalry games are heated. This one's been no different tonight. 85th minute, Michael Reed. Good spot here on the free kick for San Antonio FC, trying to level. Good service into the box, although it gets away from Reed, and it's an easy bring down for Callie Brown. Bird upfield. Kasner stays onside. Ibiaga gets back. Kasner from Murphy. Does poorly volleying it along. Ibiaga's just going to clear it away and concedes the 5th corner of the match for RGV FC. Kasner will go to take it. Boy, these would be a massive 3 points for Junior Gonzalez and his club tonight. Back-to-back wins. Something that has eluded them essentially since July. Over Magalhaes, cleared by Reed out of danger. And then off of Michael Reed, a throw in here for RGV. San Antonio FC has played with 10 men since the 20th minute as we get a foul on Luna. Turn the ball over. And yet, San Antonio FC has taken control of possession, 53% for the match. In the second half on the attack, they have been the aggressor by far, as you would expect, although sometimes more difficult to do a man down. With 9 shots total, 5 on target for the home side. And still just down a goal here late. This one goes over Elizondo as he was trying to sneak his way into the 6-yard area, and Brown will come away with it and will take his time. 3 minutes left here in regulation time. Hasn't been a lot of funny stuff in the second half. It should limit our stoppage time here in the second half. Kasner, Holland, Back for Kasner. He's in space. Kasner! Another outstanding play by Sebastian Ibeagha, who saves maybe his second goal of the night. Ruben Luna was furious. He wanted Kasner to serve him the ball. I don't blame him. Luna would have easily put this one out of reach for San Antonio FC. Instead, Kasner will serve up the 6th corner of the night. Actually, it's going to be Holland to come over and take it. And Restrepo makes the save. Quickly goes San Antonio upfield, but poor delivery by Diego, trying to get that one out of his hands in a hurry. And unfortunately, that's just going to lead to more stalling by Rio Grande Valley now that they have possession. Cochran over the top. Volleyed along by Seth. Cesar Elizondo was upended in the box. But there have been a lot more egregious infractions than that tonight. Certainly that would have been very hard press of the referee to call a penalty in this situation in the 90th minute, although Elizondo's slow to get up here. He may earn San Antonio at least some stoppage time minutes here. '90th minute. San Antonio FC has trailed the entirety of the game. All the way back in the 17th minute, Jose Escalante. His 4th goal of the season, giving Rio Grande Valley all they've needed to this point. Four minutes of added time here in the second half. Luna, McCarthy. And there'll be another throw in here, and again, opportunity to take some more time off the clock. Kasner will come off here, and on in his place, Nicholas Perea. This is a throw in here for the Toros. As Perea will make his RGV Toros FC debut here after playing for Jacksonville FC of the North American Soccer League a year ago. Now they've added an additional minute of stoppage time, so we were originally shown 4, we're now being shown 5.
6.
Heard somebody say, why not 6? Seems to be pretty arbitrary throughout the night. Wharton, RGV in possession, trying to see this one through here. Holland to the outside. San Antonio FC, valiant effort tonight, playing with 10 men for 70 minutes. And then some. 10 minutes of stoppage time as Perea is fouled by Ibeagha in the corner. So you think about the 10 minutes of added time in the first half. For San Antonio FC, they have played 80 minutes of real-time action, a man down, and yet they're a bounce away from earning what would be a much-deserved point here tonight. But they're certainly fatigued right now. Do they have a last gasp in them? Ibeagha maybe personally responsible for saving 2 goals against. About halfway through stoppage time. Billy Forbes. Turned upfield by Eric Bird, who's fouled by Mike Seth. Seth will come over, and some good sportsmanship there with the captain, Eric Bird, who's down on the pitch. Well, the South Texas Derby certainly lived up to expectations tonight. This has been very entertaining. Although the result may not go San Antonio FC's way tonight, they continue to be plagued by their rival to the south that has had their way against the Silver and Black here over these 2 seasons. But it has made for some entertaining soccer. McCarthy turns it back to Restrepo. Maybe a minute left or so of stoppage time. Seth slips it along. Elizondo. The foul and a push off. And now RGV really in the driver's seat here. Bird and Elizondo have crossed paths a couple of times tonight, and that time it's Elizondo who will be called for the foul. One last gasp for San Antonio FC. Rashandel. Too far upfield. Callie Brown easily under this one. And that might be San Antonio FC's last hope. Ibiaga. The long ball upfield, headed away. Clearance by RGV. Another throw in here. As we've played 6 minutes into stoppage time now. Restrepo. Magalhaes. Holland. Just trying to play keep away are the Toros here late. Bird. Murphy. They don't need a goal. They just need the 3 whistles at this point. Murphy gets run over. Bird. Back for Murphy. See if anything transpires after the whistle blows. Although it's been, well, rather hard to figure out when the whistle's going to blow here in stoppage time. Callie Brown again. There it is. RGVFC wins the middle game of the South Texas Derby. The rubber match coming up. The final game of the regular season. That's a massive 3 points for the visitors on Jose Escalante's goal in the 17th minute. For San Antonio FC, they lose back-to-back games for the first time this season, as they're beaten tonight 1-0 by Rio Grande Valley Toros FC. San Antonio FC falls to 14-4-10, and their first loss at Toyota Field this season, where they are now 6-1-6. Overall, 13-5-10, 28 all-time games here at Toyota Field. Escalante the goal, Callie Brown the clean sheet, RGV gets the win. San Antonio FC looking for redemption next week. Your club season continues next Saturday when the team travels north to Tulsa to take on the Roughnecks. Kicks off at 4. Watch the action live at sanantoniofc.com. For our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our final from Toyota Field, San Antonio FC beaten 1-0. This has been a presentation of the USL and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. So long, everybody.